First off, before I get started with anything, I just wanted to apologize for not uploading in time. Believe it or not, I caught COVID and I was feeling very terrible. I was sick for almost 2 weeks. My back was hurting, my throat was itching, I was coughing, sneezing, nose was running, and I just wasn't feeling good at all. And even then, I was still working on the background. I was working on a website, and I did launch the website in time for you guys. It was launched on the 21st. Unfortunately, I couldn't get myself up to record the video on the final product. I'm still not feeling okay, and I apologize if my voice sound a little different, but I figured that I had to get myself up and, record this video and release it for you guys, because I know a lot of you have been waiting on a final prototype and see exactly how it's gonna look in the car. Yeah, let's jump right in. So now, as you all know, this is the actual wireless charging pad that comes with the car. And most of us, we have an issue with this product here, because when you sit your phone, because of the camera bump, right? Sometimes it doesn't charge the phone. And even when it does, the phone overheats and it creates a lot of headache. Even me, when I did first have that in the car, I constantly had to put my phone face down so it wouldn't charge my phone, just because I didn't want it to overheat my phone. So that's what started everything, right? So now, when I started designing the prototype, my CAD software skills, they were very minimal. I had just started learning how to design and use the CAD software. And I came up with the first prototype. It was, pretty straightforward, not complicated at all. And this one fitted real nice. And then when I posted the video, a lot of you guys gave me a lot of good positive feedback, and even texted and messaging me about what to improve, what to add, and whatnot. And it took me a minute, but I came up with the second prototype. And with the second prototype, this one, it fitted great. Only issue is when I put it in the car with this piece here, it just kept sagging. It wasn't clearing the cubby cover. So that was the second prototype. Also, stay tuned, because I'm gonna be announcing the giveaway winners. And just because the prototype 2, I scraped it off, I'm gonna be providing you guys with the last prototype, which is the prototype 3. So my giveaway winners, you will be getting the prototype 3. So now we scraped this project, and then now this is the third prototype. So way better, looks better, lighter, and then also it has a deeper pocket for your phone. So now I have many different options for you guys. It fits the latest MagSafe Charger. So it fits I think it's version 3 of the MagSafe Charger, and also version 2, because they're the same. So the two newest MagSafe Chargers they're gonna go in here. And then you could either fit your Apple Watch or like your Samsung Galaxy Watch. Also, as a cheaper alternative option, because I do realize that the MagSafe Charger, it's pretty costly, right? It runs for about almost $40 a piece. So I do have an Anker Qi2 option for you guys. And the Anker Qi2 option, it runs cheaper, and it's also almost the same as the MagSafe Charger. I tested both of them. Both are amazing. Both are great. So, it's whether you go with the MagSafe Charger or the Anker Qi2 charger, both are still going to be a great option for you. But also on the Anker Qi2 charger, this one, I think it runs, you can get 2-pack on Amazon as of right now. I'm recording this video on October 24th. So as of right now, you can get 2-pack on Amazon for $24. And both of the Anker Qi2 charger, they're gonna sit on here. And then also you still have the option to include either like your Apple Watch or a Samsung Watch. I did also remove the watch option. So if you don't want the module and then you just want the 2 chargers, so that way you could run the cables in the cubby and charge it that way, you could also do that. But you could also mix and match. You could do like a Anker Qi2 here, you could do the MagSafe here, or vice versa, whatever is comfortable for you. I have all the different options on my website, and I'm gonna put it in the description for you, so that way if you are interested, so that way you can get the product. All right, so now real quick, I wanted to show you guys how the website looks like. Pretty simple, not complicated at all. And then this is the wireless charging pad. This is the module for the wireless charging pad. So let's say if you are on a computer, this is exactly how the website is going to look like. And let's say if you wanted to, purchase, you would go ahead and click on here. And then let's say if you wanted to do the 2 Anker charger with the Apple Watch, you would select your option, whatever works for you. If you want to do the 2 MagSafe chargers, you could select that. If you want the MagSafe chargers with the Galaxy Watch charger, you could do that. If you didn't want the watch, you could remove the watch option, whatever is going to be convenient for you. But now, after you select your option and then you add it to the cart, and then you're going to go ahead and check out and do all of that fun stuff. So that's it if you did not want the module. And now, if you go back and you wanted to have the module included as well, and again, the module, that's the piece that's gonna be connecting to your existing connector on your car, so that way you're not using the ones that are in your cubby, if that makes sense. And also something to keep in mind, so for the module, as of now recording this video, I think I have about 23 or like 22 of them left. So do be sure to place your order, and then if you are getting the module, do be sure to add that to the cart, because once they run out, it's gonna take me a very long time to restock, because from the vendor that I'm getting the modules from, it takes almost a month to receive those modules. So don't miss out. But nonetheless, this is how you would operate the website, and it's also pretty much the same on a mobile device. So now let's go ahead and select the giveaway winners. So remember, it's only 2 winners. So now I already had went in and tried this website just so I could make sure that it works and it works properly. So let's go ahead and copy the link of the video. So this is the video here. I'm gonna paste it on here. Now I'm gonna just do one at a time. Now with the advanced option, whenever I go back to the video, right? So this was all the comments. And then some of you guys had some spelling error in a comment. You see, like prototype. Yeah, so some of you had some spelling error, and it's fine. But I just want to make sure that I'm giving everybody a fair chance. So let me see this one. This user here, he didn't even put the number. So seems like, okay, yeah. So seems like for everybody, just so that way it could be fair, I'm gonna go ahead and just type in pro. Right, so I'm gonna type in pro, and then after I click pick a random YouTube comment, I'm gonna make sure that the comment, it clearly says I want prototype number 2. So if it doesn't, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna generate it again, so that way I can move on to the next person. But let's go ahead and roll the dice. Let's see. All right, so we have this user here, so Joe Rue 8699. Congrats on winning this prototype here. So clearly he typed it in a comment, so that's the first winner. So let's go ahead and pick another one. All right, and we have BCUBDON. Congrats again on winning. And I apologize in advance to everyone that didn't win, but don't worry. In the next upload, I'm gonna have some discount codes hidden in the videos for you guys, so that way you could take advantage of that. And then also, I'm gonna be doing more giveaway in the future. So once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna have a surprise for you guys. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah. Now let's jump back to the prototype. All right, so now for any of you guys interested in seeing the making of the final and prototype, so here it is. And again, the software that I'm using is called Plasticity. So yeah, enjoy. Also, this process here won't be necessary because when you're gonna be removing the center piece, that I guess frame, whatever you want to call it, it's already gonna be screwed into the car, so you won't be doing that step. But just in case, if you were to remove it and then it comes off, whatever reason, so that way you have an idea on how to remove it. You get the product itself, right? So whatever option that you chose, whether you wanted to do the MagSafe or the Anker Charger, you're gonna get that product. Mostly it's gonna be in white. Sometimes it may also be in black, but it shouldn't matter because you're gonna cover it in with the fabric in black. Now, talking about the fabric, I'm also gonna send you a piece of the fabric itself, so that way you don't have to fetch for the fabric online. It should cover the entire prototype, and in just a few minutes I'm gonna show you how to properly glue it onto the piece itself, but it's pretty easy and straightforward. So that's the fabric. Also, I'm gonna be providing you some screws so that way you can screw it on the back of the center piece. So there you go. It's gonna be 6 of them, and then just so that way you would be able to glue the fabric over the MagSafe chargers. Only for the MagSafe chargers, I would also be providing you with these 2 as well. So that's it. If you just wanted to get the product and you didn't care about the module, so this is what's gonna be coming in a package itself. Now, if you wanted to get the module, which is this one here, so pretty much what it does, it allows you to connect all them chargers into the USB-C port connector, so that way you don't have to route the cables into the cubby. So that way you still have those open for the cubby. Now, I do also have an alternative option that I'm gonna show you later on if you did not want to get the module and you still wanted to use the cubby. So stay tuned for that, but pretty much you're gonna get the module. I'm gonna be soldering the wire and everything, so you don't have to worry about that. But also with that, the module, it comes with a case, and pretty much this is how you put it together. So the module, it slides onto the case like that. You give it a little push here just so we could make sure that they fit into the hole, and then this is the top cover, and then this is the little gap for the wires. So you're gonna fish it on top like this, push it up. Then I'm gonna be providing you 2 brackets, so you're just gonna be placing it on the side, just to make sure that it's not gonna be going anywhere. So that's the first one, and then second bracket. Okay, and then boom, it should look like this at the end. As a final piece, I'm also gonna be providing you this moldable glue, and I'm gonna show you how to pretty much use everything, but I'm only shipping this one out if you're getting the module, because I'm gonna show you how to use this. But yeah, now nonetheless, let me go ahead and show you how to properly glue the fabric onto the piece, so that way you know exactly how to do it. And again, it could look very intimidating, but I promise it's fairly easy. All right, so now I'm gonna show you how to properly glue the fabric onto the piece. But before, I wanted to emphasize, so the MagSafe chargers, since I'm doing the MagSafe chargers, it's gonna be either the latest version, which is the V3, or it also fits the V2. I would recommend getting the latest one. And again, like I've already stated, it runs for about almost, as you could see here, the price tag, $39. So you would get you 2 of these, and then for the watch charger, I also got the latest one, and this one runs at about $29. So get you 2 MagSafe chargers and then 1 of the Apple Watch charger. That's the first one. And the second one. One is gonna go in here. Goes in like this, and you push down. It's easy as that. Second one, same. There you go, and that's done for the watch. I have the cable channeling in the back. So now let's start gluing. So like I said, first thing you want to do, you want to grab the spacers. They're gonna go on top of here like this. Just making sure that the surface is not dirty. Doesn't really matter, but you know, just playing it safe. Now for the fabric, this is gonna go on top, and then the rigid part, sort of like a rigid texture, this one is gonna be at the bottom. So the soft looking part is gonna face up, and then the rigid looking part is gonna face down. The glue that I'm gonna be using, again, this is a good one. You can really use anything, but I had great success with this one. So I'm gonna be reusing this one again. And for this one, I like to start from the back. So from that little groove area here, I like to start from here and work my way up. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray me some glue on here like this. Hopefully, let me flip it around so you can see it. Yeah, spray some glue like this. Then I'm gonna get the corners just a little bit. Also, with the glue itself, you have about, I want to say 5 to 10 minutes to apply the glue before it starts to really bond. I'm just making sure that I'm getting good coverage in all those areas. And you want to do it in portion. So I feel like this is a good stopping point because it's already getting hard. Now let's go ahead and grab the fabric. I'm gonna place it on top like this. Make sure you pinch the corners first because you want to make sure that those lay in because you don't want it to peel back. And what I also like to do, I like to use a squeegee. So squeegee, just so I can make sure I'm getting good coverage. With this stuff, it's really all about patience. It's just being patient. I'm pretty sure any of you guys could do it. You just have to be patient enough. pretty much it looks like this. Now, for this part of the process here, I've already went ahead and I've already glued the I guess the charging pad on the back of the centerpiece. And as you could see, just so I could show you with both options. So if you still want to kind of have that factory look, you could just go ahead and glue it back, and this is exactly how it's gonna look like. But just so that way we could make the install a little bit easier, what I'm gonna be showing you guys as well. So after you remove the original wireless charging pad, you can just either use a drill. That's if you don't want to do that. But as an alternative option, you could just go ahead and make sure you drill out the middle. Yeah, sort of like this. You don't need to be going in too deep, because if you keep drilling, it's gonna go through and then you might even drill your leather. So you don't want to drill too hard. You just want to give it like a little head start. But pretty much like this. Okay, that should be good. And I'm gonna show you why in just a second I'm doing this. Then I'm gonna use one of them screws and I'm just gonna screw it in so that way it holds into place, and I know it's not gonna go anywhere. Again, if you've already glued it in the back, you don't need to be doing this step. But if you did not want to glue it and you just wanted to use the screws, and I'm showing you how you would pretty much go about it. So that looks good, and you pretty much do the same for every corner. We're not gonna be using these. And the reason why, whenever I had the support bracket for these, it would sag this one down and it would be in a way of the cubby cover. So that's why I removed it. And I kind of have this sort of rounded shape support, just so that way it could just keep it up. So that way this part here is not sagging down. So now this is exactly how it looks like at the end. Okay, and then if we flip it over, I know you could see those little gaps here in between, but don't worry, once it gets installed into the car, it'll be pushed down with those clips and then the gap will disappear, so it's not going to be as visible as it is now. So I'm definitely going to show it to you once I get it installed in the car. But yeah, so this is how we're looking. Okay guys, so now after we've already removed the center console piece, so this is exactly how your car is gonna look like, right? So this is the cable that the wireless charging pad plugs into. And now with the module that we have, red is gonna be positive, black negative, and we're not gonna use this wire here. So we only need to focus on this one here, because red, it runs to the first one, and then the negative wire, which is the second one. So positive, negative. Now with the module itself, like I've already said, is gonna be color graded, so you don't have to worry about that. Now for mine, when you're looking at the module from this angle here, positive is on this side, negative is on this side. So positive, negative. If I grab the module, I'm gonna plug in this one here because this is positive. So positive goes to positive, like that. And then negative goes to negative. That alone already, it's already sturdy. I feel like it's not gonna go anywhere. And then plus it's gonna be sitting in the car. So I don't foresee that coming off. But if you wanna play it safe, you could use Sugru. So that's like a moldable piece that wraps around anything. So what I'm gonna be doing, in case if you wanted to have that peace of mind, right? I'm gonna grab a little bit here. I'm gonna show you how it works. It'll look like that. And like I said, you can shape this into anything. Usually people use this to kind of like, if you got like a cable that's ripping off, you could just mold it around the cable just so that way you could extend the life of the cable. But for this one here, this is how I'm gonna do it. And it's not something permanent. You can definitely remove that. But after you shape it around the cable, you're gonna leave it on for about 24 hours so that way it could harden. But see that it took me less than a minute to do it. Do it like that. Yeah, and then as you can see, that looks good already. You're not looking for perfection. You just want to make sure that it wraps around so that way that it's not going to come off. So to be honest, it's been over 24 hours and I wanted to show you guys how it was gonna look like after you let it mold and you give it some time. So now, as you could see, it looks like a rubberish material. So it's like, see, like it's pretty strong, to be honest. It also looks good, but the most important thing, it's reversible. So if you ever wanted to go back to the factory look, then you could just pop this one off and then it'll easily come off. So it doesn't affect anything factory wise, and that's exactly what I wanted. So as you can see, I'm letting this hang. I'm shaking this and it's still on there. It's not going anywhere. So for the box, before I go ahead and fish it from the back, I'm gonna grab the center console piece so I can start plugging in the USB-C cables, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fish it through the back here. So in this car, there's like this little hole, as you could see. It almost fits my entire head, but you could just let it sit behind here. It'll be just fine. But again, since I'm doing everything and showing you everything, let me grab the center console piece and then I'm gonna show you. I got the two MagSafe on here, and then I got the watch charger. It doesn't matter which order you do it. First one goes on here, this one, and this one. Again, it doesn't matter. And you will know you do it correctly if it lights up blue. See it? So yeah, that's how you would know if you did everything correctly. So now I'm gonna place this one here in the back, kind of like this. So now I'm gonna route the extra cable also in that same area. So when I'm putting this centerpiece back in, I like to start from the top and work my way down. This one clears, and then that is good to go. All right, so now that we're done with the install, at the end, you should have something looking like this. Now, what I was saying for the module, if you didn't want to do the module, you can route the cable through the cubby here, so that way you could just plug it in. That's one of the options that I did use in my first video. I'm also going to link this video down, just so that way you can have an idea. But I feel like with the module itself, it gives you room for additional chargers. So now I'm gonna place my phone on here, and let's see if it charges. There you go. So it is charging. All right, so let me take it out. Okay, it's not charging. I'm gonna turn it off, and then I'm gonna place it on here for the second one, and it's charging as well. Now there it is, guys. This is the final product, and I felt like we've came a long way from the first prototype to the second one to now this final one. I feel like we've achieved everything on a checklist. We got the deeper groove. We also have some different alternative options as far as chargers, and we also did include the watch charger as well. So now, did you think we nailed it? How do you like the look? Let me know in the comments down below. I have plenty of other videos coming in your way as well, so be sure to subscribe, like this video. Let me know your thoughts. Now also real quick, I want to address most of your questions and requests. I know a lot of you guys reached out to me and you are wanting me to make prototypes for the Model S, X, and the newer ones like the Highland and the Juniper. So this is pretty much the reason why it's not as easy as it looks. So hear me out. It's not that I don't want to make a prototype for you guys, but you have to understand it's complicated. So first off, I would need to get the piece out of the car so I could 3D scan the piece. As you could see, this is what I had to do to get perfect fitment and making sure also that there wouldn't be any issue with the prototype. And it's been sitting in my living room on a table for almost 3 to 4 weeks. And that's what I had to do just to make sure that this one slides, opens, and closes with no issue. The entire time when I was working on the prototype, I would be printing the product here. This is my 3D printer.
and then I got a second one coming on the way, so it'll help with production. But I had to test print, and being that I had one printer, so I had to wait almost 8 to 10 hours, wait for the print to be done, and then test fit onto the center dash piece. So it's not as easy as it looks. Yes, I could just go on eBay or go to like a junkyard and buy this entire center piece. But also you have to remember, on the Highland and Juniper version, they actually moved the key card, you know, like where you would tap the key to actually operate the vehicle. They've actually moved it to now the wireless charging pad. So now, even if I were to buy the entire piece from like eBay or like a store or like from somebody, because a lot of y'all wanted to actually ship this piece out to me so I could start working on a prototype, but I wanted to show you it's not as easy as it looks, right? So if I get the piece, I have to test print, you know, pretty much I would have to test print, make sure it fits, and then I have to put it back onto this piece here just so I could make sure that it clears. There's no fitment issue whatsoever. So I wanted to address all those requests. Now, this center console by itself, it costs up to $1,500, right? And then if I were to get it for like the Juniper, because I'm pretty sure they're interchangeable, right? So even if I get it for the Highland or the Juniper, I would have to spend $1,500 out of my own money to now start working on a prototype for all of you guys. So with the first prototype that I already have, if it's selling good and it's doing great, then I'm happy to just go out of my way and purchase this with my own money and start working on a prototype for you guys. But I wanted to show you why it's not just as easy as just, you know, 3D scanning this piece and start working on a prototype, because I have to put it back in the car. I have to make sure that the key card, if you were to put it on the prototype that I'm gonna be making sure that it's working, there's no issue and all of that. But you know, I don't have the car. If I had it, it wouldn't be no problem. I would love to make a prototype for you guys, but it's not as easy as it seems. And then also, I'm not about to rent a brand new Tesla, take it apart, because I don't want to be responsible for any damages. And also, just because I'm not sure how long it would take me to actually scan the product and replicate the product, that's why I'm not doing that. Because if you didn't know, once you scan something, right, fitment is gonna be a little bit off. So you have to usually test a few pieces to get it to actually fit properly. So it would probably take me days, would probably take me weeks. I don't know. Like this project here, like I was showing you guys, it took me almost an entire month. Hopefully that answers all your questions. We have a good working prototype for the Model 3 and Y. Hopefully in the future, like I said, if we do good with the sales and we have other sponsors helping out with the project, I wouldn't mind. But for right now, let's stick to the Model 3 and Y, and then we'll see how we do in the future. But nonetheless, if you made it all the way to the end and you watched the entire video, I appreciate you always. Also, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave me a feedback, and I'll see you guys on the next one.